Okay, 2025 is over, and look now, we got 2026. Christmas is over, you've all had your presents. But now we're in 2026, and we're starting off good. Because we got UFC on Paramount for the American fans. I think maybe Canadian fans, I'm not sure too. I think Canadian fans get subscription too, I'm not sure. But American fans were the most screwed over fans, not just in fighting, in any sport. In any sport around the world. Like, they paid 60 or no, what was it? £60? We should look at that quickly. Pounds. Oh yeah. Yeah, so about £60. They were raising it by like £5 every year, I think. So it started off at $60, then they raised it to 70 to 80. They were getting shafted. They paid for our sport. You know when Dana gambles? The Americans that's American money right there, like going behind all our fighters and everything. They were the biggest donators to the sport, and you gotta respect them for that. And you know, people say, "Oh yeah, they're pirates and stuff. They're sailing in the high seas," but there was about 100,000 or 200,000 pay-per-view buys every card, so there were a lot of people paying. So that's a good year to start off right there. That's a good year to start off. But okay, let's go to our wish list now for this year, 2026. We're gonna lock in. We got Paramount. You know we're doing good. Oh my god, they got 70. They got 7.7 billion. Oh my god. But you know as well, it's gotta be said. The UFC didn't do this out the kindness of their heart. They actually like people weren't. There wasn't as much people buying it. There was a good amount. There's a good amount, but like not much. If it was still people like back in like 2015, like millions of people like checking like $80, and then they would keep it forever. But people they see the rest of the world's getting treated different, even though they get events on time, and that's big. But 7.7, god damn, 7.7 million. Anyway, my first wish list. I think a lot of us. Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway. This happened once before. Charles was young. He was weak. He was like feeble as well. You can look at him there. He doesn't look as muscled. His cheeks look more sunken. I think his body got like hit in the neck and like, something like what was it called, like a trachea or something. I don't know, really, but something in his neck tore. It was kind of weird. Like Max Holloway says he quit to this day. Max Holloway says he quit to this day. So I'll do it. It says AI says Max Holloway. Oof. Oh my god. Anyway, because the AI, we're gonna have to switch Max Holloway with Charles. Charles Oliveira faced scrutiny that occurred during his fight with Max Holloway in 2015. Oliveira claimed the injury was a micro tear. Oh my god, a micro tear in his esophagus. That's bad as well. I think they said that he could have died. The doctors. But Holloway says, stating the doctors found no injury after the fight. I don't know. I don't know. Would Charles lie and just say that's like for no reason? Just go, oh my neck, no, no my neck. I don't know. Charles is tough, even though he did quit a little bit, whatever. Stating his doctors, I don't know. I don't know. I think like I don't know. Dana just went. I think Dana said to him like, oh yeah, they never found anything right now. They have to take him to the hospital. Then Max went, oh yeah, okay, that means nothing's wrong with him. Fighters they hate whenever guys have excuses, don't they? They hate it. They hate like they want to think, oh yeah, I just came in, I just bulldozed this guy and he quit. And I hit him in the neck and you killed him. I'm not tough, and they hate to hear, oh yeah, he actually it was like a freak injury. But anyway, I think this would be a good fight. I think this would be a good fight right here. You can feel it. This would be like Max Holloway throws a lot of punches, and then Charles he's like a tank, even though like he gets dropped. He gets dropped a bit, but you don't know if Max can drop him. Can Max drop him? Max got a bit more power at this a lightweight. It's a bit weird. He gained power suddenly. He dropped Destin so many times. He knocked out Gaethje. Who knocks out Gaethje? Not many. I don't think anyone else has knocked out Gaethje except Charles. Yeah, Charles had to put a beating on him, and Charles had to absorb so much damage just coming forward. Yeah, yeah. This would be a good fight. You can feel it already. If this got booked, I wouldn't be able to sleep. It'd be like Christmas for me, like as a kid. I would not be able to sleep from this. Anyway, next one. Ilya Topuria versus Arman Sarukian. This is the next fight we need. Not Paddy, even though I like Paddy, but this is the next fight we need. We need to see if Ilya can wrestle, because people just assume he can wrestle, like, oh yeah, because he's Georgian and like he's never really faced anyone who wants to put that pressure on him, that resting on him. So this is what we need right here. I think Ilya will knock him out. I think probably quickly. I think like people look at Arman and saw him like knock out Benil Dariush and think he can strike now, but Like oh my god, he can strike now too. Like when Joe Rogan watches these goddamn wrestlers knock out bums, and they say, oh my god, he's got power too. Everyone's messed up. Like he's done with Bo Nickel and all that. But yeah, he knocked out a chinny guy. I like Beneil, but he's chinny. He hasn't really got a striking like that. But maybe he just grinds Ilya down so much. I think Ilya probably has. We don't know though. We don't know. We'd have to see Ilya against a high level wrestler. We don't know. But Armin would be the guy to expose it. And then we need this. We need him versus Islam Makhachev. We need it. We need Ilya Topuria versus Islam Makhachev. We need it. Islam. I feel like Islam feels he'd get hurt in that fight. I think he feels like he'd take a lot of damage because he moved up against JDM, yeah. And people were like, "Oh no, but JDM, oh my God, he's like a bigger version of Ilya." He's not. Let me show you this right now. Early in his career, very early. Look, Islam Makhachev got bulldozed by his guy, and you can watch this. Oh no, Islam. Jacques Della Maddalena, early in his career, he got bulldozed by this guy called Darcy Ellis on the regional scene, wasn't it? This is very early, but like still, he got bulldozed by him. Darcy Vendy, that's it. In the first round, he just walked through him. He walked through him, and I think Islam watched that and went, okay, so I either fight this short guy who might be a good wrestler. He came in as like one of those wrestlers who use the upper body. What's that? I'm forgetting all sorts of things. You know, the wrestlers, not the freestyle wrestlers, the guys who like do little body locks and shit. Little body lock guys. Anyway, yeah, this guy, you can watch that fight, him versus Darcy Vendy. Darcy just walked through him, and maybe he's got like a good record. I'm not saying he's so bad, but I'm saying if someone can run through him, he's probably not got that much better in this many years. In 2016, Islam Makhachev was that good. You know what I mean? Even though it's getting on 10 years ago, but still, he lives in Australia, mate. I don't know what it is with Volkanovski. I don't know why he can wrestle so good, so amazingly. But then these guys, I just don't trust anyone else from Australia or New Zealand. I don't trust Izzy to wrestle. I don't trust Jack Della to be like, oh yeah, 10 years ago I was getting bulldozed, but no, I'm like, goddamn. Oh yeah, and then Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns was working him. You know what I mean? And Gilbert Burns is old. He tore his shoulder. He's not been the same since. He's a good jiu-jitsu guy as well. He's not really a grappler that much. Of course he can grapple, but he's been working him. So Darcy's not a better version. I don't think that happens to Ilya Topuria. I don't anyway. Yeah, anyway, watch this fight. You'll see. He gets bulldozed in the first round, submitted. Darcy just runs through him. God, and Darcy's having a bit of comeback, isn't he? 2023. This guy should be in the UFC. This guy. He's got KO'd a few times, but but now he's KOing people. Ooh. Yeah, this guy's a guy to watch. This is one to watch right here. Okay, done that. Okay, next one. For the White House card, Andrew Tate versus Alex Pereira. That's what we need, because boys, you gotta think now. He would, even though if you think you might be like, oh no, he's gonna train for it. You know what I mean? And he's gonna be at his best ability there. You know what I mean? That's what he says. He says, I'll train for it and I'll be my best ability. He doesn't say he'll beat Alex. He's a bit humble. He's humble. He doesn't say he'll beat Alex Pereira. He doesn't say he'll beat John Jones. He says he knows to be a tough fight and you train for it. I think that's what we need. And he's on exile there right now to America right now, so that'll be good. I would actually, you'd watch that. Come on, you'd watch that. Okay, next. Paddy Pimblett on a goat title run. Beats Justin Gaethje by first round submission. Knocks out Ilya Topuria in the third round. Paddy Pimblett goat run. I'm being serious now. A goat run. And you guys are going to hate it. You guys are going to be like, oh, it's like a joke. You guys are going to be like, oh yeah, he's joking right now. Paddy Pimblett I think he's going to be one of the goats. One of the boats, like best of all time. You know, one of the boats. He's a good fighter. He's a great fighter, actually. And you guys, that's not sarcastic, but no, I am being serious. And I've been saying this. I've been saying Paddy Pimblett. I said he'd beat Bobby Green. I said he'd beat Michael Chandler. And I said it'd be fairly easily. I'm pretty sure, didn't we? Watch this now, because you guys said he'd lose to Tony Ferguson. Remember that when you want to say, oh yeah, Paddy Pimblett sucks. You guys said he'd lose to Tony Ferguson. You guys said that. And that wasn't long ago, that was 2023. Then you guys said, oh yeah, Bobby Green, should better work on him. Then after you guys said, oh yeah, but they're old. Then Michael Chandler, you went, oh fuck, finally someone's going to knock him out. But no, look, he dominated him. He dominated him worse than he did, you got to think Jared Gordon, because a lot of you say this about, oh, you lost to Jared Gordon, it was like a robbery or something. Jared Gordon is a good fighter. He's a guy he can make things tough. He could. So I don't put much stock in Jared Gordon making someone look bad. Jared Gordon knocked out the Olympian. If I could get the goddamn Sherdog. Anyone feel like this is Sherdog? It's actually crap to load. It's like your internet. It's like your internet goes back to like the 2010s. Sherdog. Goddamn. Yeah. Look, in the first round, Jared Gordon is this crap guy. Knocked down Marco Madsen in the first round. Ran through him. Do you guys know who Marco Madsen is? He's the Olympian. He is. Look at him. Don't look at the record. Look at him. God damn. Look at the size of this guy. He's 155 pounds. He looks like George St. Pierre. He's ripped. He's what the hell? Look, he does look like George St. Pierre. He's ripped. Look at him. And his only losses were Grant Dawson in submission in the first round. And there's Grant Dawson shit as well. Grant Dawson got knocked out by Bobby Green in the first round. Is he shit now as well? Am I late on this now? Submitted in the Grant Dawson. We know he's a good grappler. He's not a great striker, but he's an amazing grappler. It took him to the third round. Look at that. Undefeated before then. Wait a minute, he's undefeated. What? He retired. Oh, he's 31, yeah. He's 31 at 155, isn't he? Oh, yeah. He's oh my god. I thought he was on like a loss streak, and I was like, oh, of course he retires. But no, he was actually undefeated before Grant Dawson. Jesus. Anyway, he beat this guy. Is this guy shit? He was undefeated except his last fight. His first ever loss was Grant Dawson. And then Jared Gordon just put the beats on him. Just ran through him. Like it looked like Mike Tyson. It did. Like, of course, he's not Mike Tyson and stuff. But I said it looked like something Mike Tyson would do. Don't mix up my words now. I said it looked like something Mike Tyson would do. Just run through him like Lanny Holmes go, and he won. And that was a good match. I remember that. That's good. Then Thiago Moises. Yeah, KO'd Thiago. What? He KO'd him in the first round. Is he crap now too? You guys are saying, oh, Benoit St. Denis, he's the best thing ever. Oh, he's the best thing ever. Oh, yeah, because, Benoit St. Denis went the distance with him or something. No, he KO'd him. He KO'd him in the second round. Well, how did he do that to Thiago Moises? He will kill Dustin Poirier. Then Jared Gordon done it in the first round. And that's what you guys are saying about Benoit St. Denis all the time. Did you see what he did to Thiago Moises? Oh, my God. He done it quicker, Jared Gordon. Are we kidding? Yeah, Islam Makhachev, remember? Islam Makhachev took him to the fourth round. We remember this, don't we? We were saying Islam Makhachev was good because of this. Then Jared Gordon done him in the first round. What the hell? He's a guy. He's 37 now. Yeah, he's gonna make good guys look bad or beat them. He's not like a Michael Johnson, but he's like just a tough guy. He's a tough guy. He got good technique. He's good everywhere, basically. You know. I think Islam Makhachev. Oh God. Charles Oliveira did. That's what brings him down a bit. Is Charles Oliveira like KO'd him in the first round? But who else did Charles Oliveira KO in the first round? He KO'd Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier third round. He KO'd a lot of guys in the first round. Second round, started the second round, he KO'd Michael Chandler. You know, so that's a younger Charles as well when he's just on his streak. So there's no hate in that, is there? No hate in that. So Paddy Pimblett on his goat run. Okay, we need to go next now. Okay, next, Tom Aspinall back on track. His order took a hit. It did. Ooh, what's that? Yeah, his order took a hit. Right, people were like blowing it up too much about how Cyril Game would be ran through because John Jones ran him through. It's a different fight every time, guys. And just because Cyril Game won doesn't mean John Jones would beat Tom. It doesn't work like that. Every fight is different. Maybe that first fight, Cyril was like ill and he crapped his pants or something. Then he went, oh, I need to get out of here. I'll clean myself up, you know. Every fight's different, and Tom's a different style. He doesn't just like, he can wrestle a little bit, he can do jiu-jitsu, but he's not like a John Jones type wrestler, is he, where he's gonna just like double leg athletically through him and stuff. John Jones has had like a whole career, even though he's older when he first did on, he's had a whole career just double legging guys, putting them down. He's had so much experience doing that in the cage, not just in sparring. Tom has been doing that in sparring mainly. I did do it to Alexander Volkov, but Volkov he has no balance, does he? He's too big. But you know, in the cage, he hasn't had much experience doing that on like a high level, where like the whole world's watching you, where you got all your pressure on you, where everyone's like expecting you to win. He hasn't done that, and maybe he can't do that to Cyril, because Cyril's just improved. Maybe like John Jones won't run him through this time. You don't know. Maybe Cyril's improved, because you know Cyril, he started training This is serious now. Cyril Gaines started training at 28. At 20, no, maybe 29. He started. He's never. I think he did like football in his teens. He never trained. He started Muay Thai at 28, 29. Can you like? So by the time he fought John Jones, he was about 33. And you got to think 33. He'd only been training about 4 or 5 years. When he fought for the title against Francis Ngannou, he'd only been training 4 or 5 years. I'm fit unless he did. Even if he did Muay Thai before that, I think it was only a couple of years. So maybe it goes down to 27 or something. So he started training. Look, he had Muay Thai fights a little bit before this. 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 22. See? So about 5. He's only been training about 5 years. And that's you got 5 years, and he's very good. Like people downplay him so much because he lost to John Jones. He's very very good. He's such a slick striker. You know, he's so good. He's so slick. Like he's athletic as well. It's funny for Ngannou because Ngannou was in the same position. He'd only started training MMA like 3 years before that. 3-4 years before that, and then he fought Stipe and he lost. But then what did Francis do next time? A couple of years later, he knocked out Stipe. I started training about 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, in 8 yeah. So about the same. About 5 years or something like that. That was quite a while ago when he fought Stipe, 2018. Where's time gone sometimes? It does feel a long time ago, but I say that. And he's almost 39. Yeah, so Francis was in the same position. He lost to Stipe. Everyone said he's crap. He fought Derek Lewis. Everyone was saying, oh my god. Then he came back. Curtis Blake, Cain Velasquez Jr. went crazy. Then he knocked out Stipe a couple of years later. Won the belt. Oh my god. He won the belt and he fought. Oh, why is Francis not fighting? Maybe I put that on the wish list as well. Francis Ngannou fights for the PFL. That's coming on my wish list. He fights. How about that? Just fights like full stop. Maybe he does dirty boxing. He fights Andrei Arlovski in dirty boxing. How about that? How about he does anything for the PFL? Literally, just go there with a PFL shirt. Go to dirty boxing, my pace promotion, and then wear a PFL shirt and just rep the brand a little bit. Because I don't know what he's doing with his career. He wants to go back to UFC. That's what I want. Okay, drop my mic there, but yeah, Francis Ngannou, do something. Do anything, Francis. That's what you want for Francis. Have you done Tom? Okay, this next one's a big one. In my eyes, anyway. This next one's a big one. See if I'm recording, yeah? Yeah, I'm recording. This next one's a big one. Alex Pereira breaks up with Tracy Cortez. He breaks up with her because you know what? It's too perfect. His life is too perfect. It makes you feel a bit sad looking how great his life's going. And he's with Tracy Cortez now, and he's just mugging you. You know what I mean? Everyone wants it. Everyone's going, can they just break up? We want to see Tracy Cortez crying on Instagram or something. Like, and they got articles. Alex Pereira and Tracy Cortez's fitness regime. Here's how the new UFC's power couple. They call a power couple, and they're on articles that they need to break up. I don't like it. Brian Ortega. Oh, yeah. I feel bad for Brian Ortega. Oh, Brian Ortega. God. I feel really bad for Brian Ortega, man. He is a crap. He's a crap fighter, isn't he, Brian Ortega? I feel bad for him. He took your bitch. He took your bitch. He took your bitch. He took your bitch. Took your bitch. Look at Brian. Don't you feel bad for Brian? You wonder sometimes, is he even a UFC fighter? Because he just doesn't fight much either. How is he making money? He's been in the UFC since like 2013, right? So I don't get how he makes money. He fights once like every 2 years. He fights once every 2 years. He loses every other fight since 2018, and he was undefeated. No, that's over. Yeah, I think he won that fight. He was undefeated up until 2018. God, you feel that? I'll put it on my wish list as well. Brian Ortega to do something. I think fight 3 times a year. You know, maybe against lower level competition on your big contract. Make that money before you're out. You got a Kevin Hollander. You know what I mean? You probably won't become champion. So why don't you just fight a lot? Just get that cash going. You know, Tracy Cortez, she probably won't become champion. Like, who knows? I don't want to say no one could ever become champion. You know, anything can happen. But Tracy Cortez, she's got Alex Ferreira now. She's got his money. What have you got? You're a man. You're gonna become Kayla Harrison's like laundry folder. You know what I mean? Is that what you're gonna do? She can fold people's laundry. Can you? You know? Or maybe Amanda Nunes. She goes straight. You know? It's Chris Cyborg. There's not a lot. There's not a lot of wealthy women in this game. You know? There's about 4 of them maybe. Brian Ortega becomes Kayla Harrison's laundry folder. That's what we want for Brian in 2025. Anyway, let's go next one. Alexander Volkanovski fights someone else than Diego Lopez, and he goes back on a streak. That's what we want. We want him to just run through, just run through the Diego Lopez fight, run through it. It's gonna happen. I think UFC just wants someone for the first Panama card, just to be like, okay, these are 2 reliable lads. Just put them on there. But then we want Volk. People say Volk should retire because they don't want him to get knocked out again. But honestly, what if Volk stays in there for like about 3-4 more fights, and then about 3-4, then he wins them all? Wouldn't that be a perfect way to end the career? You know what I mean? So I think he should stay in just for that, because he's in Street Fighter, mate. If he would have retired after that, after winning against Diego Lopez, if he would have retired, like other fans would want him to, like, oh, you're on a win, Volk, like, retire. He wouldn't have got that Street Fighter gig. They only want active fighters. You know, so there's reasons to stay in the UFC a bit longer than maybe you should. Look, he's got hair here. This is what I want. I want Volk with hair, basically. I want him to go back to his old self, back when he had a full head of hair. Did his hair just recede randomly one day? Because he's got a good bit of hair here. How'd he lose all his hair? Because he was wearing a wig on Street Fighter going, yeah, got me hair back. He just lost his hair one day then, did he? Is this steroids? Ooh. It's a bit weird when a man in like his 30s, I don't know, is there? When a man in his 30s who's got insane cardio, like Volk never gets tired. It's a bit weird when you lose all your hair in like a day. Maybe like throughout time we see it going back. Yeah, it's going back a little bit there, I guess. Don't look bad though. Why did he like gradually lose his hair? Can you see his hairline here? Yeah. Is his hair all the way back there now? Maybe no, it is normal for like that to happen randomly, you know. But I figured he's on a bit of the source. Come on. Anyway, that's what we want. We want Volk to come back. We want him to have 3-4 more fights, end the career perfect. And if you even get knocked out once, just one more fight after that. If you get knocked out, just like because you might get another Street Fighter gig or something. Come on, they only want active fighters. We've said as well. You guys might not think that matters. Dominic Cruz is not on the UFC commentary table anymore. He's not there. As soon as he stopped fighting, he was there for a couple more months. Then they haven't had him since. Dominic Cruz, he started up a podcast. If you're not an active fighter, they don't give much stock to you anymore. I'm sorry to say. Okay, after this now. Okay, after this, it's a good one. Sergey Pavlovich to become a beast again. The beast we know Sergey can become. That's what we need again. Because right now he's looking so. And it's just weird to say that about someone like who's like a massive monster, can knock you out, like run forward, like just knock you out like nothing. He's so now. It's hard to say, like for him is like still like a monster, but like he's like a bit of a Jairzinho Rosenstruik after he got knocked out by Francis Ngannou. You guys remember that? Jairzinho Rosenstruik after he got knocked out by Francis Ngannou. One sec. Jairzinho was a monster. And it's funny they fought recently because Jairzinho was a monster. Like, see, decision, got knocked out. Before that, all first rounds. Alistair Overeem KO'd him early, which is impressive from Alistair. That was in 2018. I still remember that. That was harrowing the way he got hit. Alistair beat the crap out of him. But anyway, see, decisions. Even his loss is decision now. Loss. Wilder, that's a good win now. Wilder, we've seen Wilder he's got some hands on him, He's not bad. He's getting better as well. I think he caught him a bit early. I think Wilder's going to get better, gain confidence. Look, Jairzinho Rosenstruik, the same thing. But except Sergey's good enough that he's not losing, See, before this, Jairzinho Rosenstruik, KO Junior Albini. Seriously, back then, this will sound funny, but some of you will remember it. He was like a Francis Ngannou. Everyone was like, oh my god, a second Ngannou. A second Ngannou hit the towers. That's like another joke. But like, it sounds funny now because you're like, Jazz, like, yeah. There's no way that you're like, no way they thought he was a second Ngannou. But yeah, it's a second Ngannou. Because like Junior Albini, you guys remember Junior Albini? Oh God, you don't want to know who Junior Albini is. Alan Crowder, Stephen Crowder's cousin actually, KO'd in the first round. Andrei Arlovsky KO'd in the first round. That's not easy. Andrei, he's been knocked out a few times, but he's had a long career. For heavyweight, he's not had such a long career. He's not been knocked out that much. You gotta look at heavyweights a bit differently. They don't get, if you have a long career, they get knocked out at least 5 times in their career, like over like a 10-20 year span. Like Andrew's had or Alice has had, they get knocked out at least a good 10 times. That's just heavyweight though. You take a punch, you're flying across the ring. Anyway, Alistair Overeem, and that was that's the fight as well I've complained about with Dan Migliotta reffing it. This fight right here versus Alistair Overeem, because they cut it out. This just ended at 4:56. I swear to God, I heard the bell. I swear to God, when I was watching the fight, I heard the bell. Instead, it got stopped 4 seconds. They cut the bell out. They cut the bell out. I swear to God, they cut the bell out. Dan Migliotta, like, you should watch the end of the fight. Dan's like fucking Jairzinho walks away. Alistair stands up, like, goes to his corner, like, okay, the fight's over. He heard the bell. Then Dan's like following him while he's working. Then stops. Then Jairzinho's like on the other side of the cage. It's that weird, bizarre. But Alistair was doing a good fight. He was doing that late career Alistair Overeem where he wrestles with his high guard and doesn't want to take a punch, which is smart from him at that stage. He's got a good he's a good grappler and stuff. It's smart. But Jairzinho like catches him at the end and then he doesn't knock him out. But like, damn Migliotta, I know you're gonna get me angry again. But then we should have saw then. Why did they take him to the 5th round to hurt him? We should have saw then because Jairzinho was gun shy at that point, a little bit gun shy. Because Jairzinho, if he just works forward, he knocks guys out. Like his next fight, Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou done that. This is the first fight Francis went, I'm not having another Derek Lewis fight where I just look at the guy. Just run forward, tries swinging, knocks him out. And that's what Jairzinho should then. Then he knocked out Junior Dos Santos. Junior Dos Santos is old as crap. That's nothing. Junior Dos Santos is old as crap. It doesn't mean anything. But then you thought, okay, he's coming back a little bit. But then Cyril Gane decisioned him for 5 rounds. Jairzinho didn't throw a punch. Cyril Gane just dominated him, but that can happen. He knocked out Augusto Sakai. I'm forgetting these fights now. He actually again knocked out. But then look at this. Decision, 3rd round, didn't do nothing against Blades. Alexander Volkov worked through him. Chris Durkins, he got a KO there. He actually got more KOs, I remember. But he wasn't. He's never going to get anywhere, is he? He should have been primed to like do something, But like he just knocked out cans. Like, and the UFC is not going to pay you to knock out these guys. You know what I mean? A Tai Tuivasa, a split decision, like a crap fight. He's just giving us crap fights and knocking out a can every other fight. You know what I mean? And he's supposed to be the next Ngannou. That's why the UFC put you up against Francis Ngannou, because they're like, finally someone can knock out Francis. We could just replace him. But then that happened. Anyway, that's what we need to be. We need Sergey Pavlovich to be a beast again. That's all we need. We need him to be the beast he knows how to be. Because he's looking worse than Jairzinho here. Because Jairzinho got some knockouts, but I don't think Sergey's going to knock someone out again. I don't feel it anymore. I don't feel he has that, like, I don't think he knows he can knock people out. I'll rust it, blast. Don't want to say what I know about that. Anyway, after that, Peter Yan. Someone calls him Peter, like, he's Petter. No, I don't know what it is. I think it's Peter. Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley too. We need this fight so much because Peter, I swear, he didn't need, like, he didn't need it. He should have beat him. Don't you feel like this in the last few years that Peter Yan, he's not doing as well as he should be. He's a way better fighter than he's been showing for a while now. I think Cody Sandhagen, he looked good. The Merab, that fight, obviously, the Merab fight and the Cody Sandhagen fight, those look like fights where Yan, that's the Yan we know. You know what I mean? Like, he's looked pretty, like this fight, he didn't look that good. Even though Sean's like way bigger than him and Sean like catches him across the thing, I feel like he should be dominating these guys, Like Peter, he should have been like against Aljo as well. The second fight, he didn't look as good. I don't know if he's been injured or like, I don't know. He did injure his knee. He injured his knee against Slung, didn't he? Slinky Dog. That's what I mean with Sherdog record, man. What's up with it? Davison, he looked pretty good. Marcus McGee, I don't know much about Marcus McGee. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good guy to go to decision to yet. I need to see. I need to see more of him. I know he's got good hands, don't he? Yeah, he's got good hands. Yeah, spinning wheel kick. Yeah, KO. Yeah, he's got good. I need to see him against top competition because the UFC chucked him against Peter Yan. I don't know. I don't know. Did the UFC believe in him, or did the UFC want to give Peter Yan like a leg up? I don't know. You gotta wait. You gotta wait. I guess. I thought that was like. It's either that when the UFC does like something like that, you either like, okay, this guy is like so good, or this is like a leg up for them. Like, oh, here's the win. Not for your title fight. Because maybe they wanted to schedule him for a title fight, but then said, okay, we're gonna give you Marcus McGee instead. But it wasn't a bad fight. But like, if we see Marcus McGee isn't that good, then yeah, Stevenson, Song Yadong, that was a good fight. He tore his knee. You can't say much. Yeah, Marab in the first fight just ran through him. This is what I wonder if like later like in his career, has he said that? Maybe I missed in like some Russian interview. He said that he's been injured. You know what I mean? I feel like he's like injured or something. I feel like he's been injured, or like maybe we're gonna find out. Oh, I had both my knees turned like down into like, oh, my ACL or something. It's like, oh, my ACL was so bad I just couldn't win a fight. Something like that. Because how did he look so good in the first Aljo fight? Look good in the Cody Sandigan fight. In the second Aljo fight, I think it split decision, but it wasn't anything special. Aljo just held him down. Such a stark difference from the first fight when Peter looked like 10 levels above him. It looked like he's beaten up like a woman. That's what it looked like. It looked like he's beating up his wife. It looked like Aljo was his wife, and he's like, yeah, you didn't cook that sandwich, like a Russian star. And Aljo was like on his knees, and he's going, get it, bang, bang. That's what it looked like. Then the second fight looked like a high level fight. I don't know how that switches so much. You gotta think it's what Aljo was coming off a concussion from the knee. He might have been lying. You might have been lying about that, but let's just say he had a concussion. Let's buy into the narrative. He had a concussion. He broke his neck, and he's going for like 10 surgeries. That's why this fight took another year to schedule. He went for like 10 surgeries, didn't he? He never had a fight before this. No, he went for like 10 surgeries, and like he should have been, but he came back even better. And maybe that surgery fixed him up. Maybe his neck was that bad. But I haven't seen Aljo fight like that since. So good, Unless you're talking like Brian Ortega, like come on. Don't shut Brian Ortega too much, man. Then Sean O'Malley, who's I feel like that was a pretty low energy performance. Is that the right way to say it? It's pretty low energy. He looked good and like sharp and like, but he didn't look like, oh my god, that's like the best fight we've ever seen. Like before the Aljo fight, we're like, this guy's the best fight we've ever seen in every single department. He's striking good. He has elbows. He has spinning kicks, the punches. He can throw you over. He can drop you on your head. He does like 460 spins into punches into like spinning kicks. It's insane, and he knows everything. He's like the perfect fighter. You want to build the perfect fighter. You got Peter Yan. So I do wonder. Maybe someone in the comments who's like Russian, I don't know, that's like a long shot, who watches interviews like can tell us that he had these injuries or he was like had this illness, something like that, like because I don't get how he went from so bad to like amazing. Or maybe Marab, I don't know, maybe Marab had too many fights, but Marab's a machine. You know what I mean? He's a machine. I don't think he needs like that much breaks between fights. I think he does hard sparring before he fights. Then after he fights, there's some more hard sparring, like a full on like fight before the fight. So I don't know. He doesn't need rest days. Like he's just yeah. We need Peter Yan to fight Sean O'Malley again, because I want to see if my theory is true that he went through like just a bad period. If just for some reason things weren't clicking, injury, something, I don't know. See, okay. Yeah, so for like a year straight, he was getting surgeries. Couldn't really train much, obviously, because his neck surgery. And he came back, dominated him. Doesn't make sense, does it? Doesn't make much sense, no. Yeah, that's what we need. Okay. Next, we don't need this. We do not need this. We don't want Alex Pereira versus Khamzat Chimaev. We do not want a UFC. Do not do it. Do not do it. UFC, please don't do this. It would be crap. It would be crap if Alex Pereira's like whole career just got ended by Khamzat just double legging him and choking him out in 30 seconds. I don't want it on the off chance he just like catches Cam's out with a left hook and then Cam's like goes down, knocks out on the floor. It's not worth it. We already seen this. We seen him against Magomed Ankalaev. We seen it. He faced the guy, the wrestler who's supposed to be the best wrestler, the light heavyweight. He knocked him out. Yeah, okay. No rematches. No rematches for Magomed. No rematches. No, you can't ever fight him again. Magomed Ankalaev can never fight him again. No, we don't want that. Magomed can't fight him, or Khamzat can't fight him. Islam Makhachev can't move up to 205. Oh, they won't meet in the middle, 185 and fight. Dricus du Plessis, no, he's not coming down to middleweight to fight you either, because even you can wrestle a tiny bit. We don't want any of it. Come up to 205 only if you Dricus. That's the only one I will accept, you know? That's the only one. Even Bo Nickel, no, Bo Nickel, fuck off. We don't. Bo Nickel, go away. See how you guys think of how people think of Bo Nickel is probably how you guys think of Paddy Pimblett. So me saying Paddy Pimblett's so good, you know, you're probably like, oh Paddy, get away, bro. But anyway, we don't want this. We want Alex Pereira versus maybe Tom Aspinall, because Tom Aspinall, we know Tom. I was a bit scared that Tom could just double leg him through the floor, you know what I mean? But now, I don't know. He can. I feel like Alex can catch him too. You know, Tom's a bit leaky. I couldn't. That's thinking. I don't know. No, I want to do light heavyweight rankings. What is that? Okay, so light heavyweight, we got Jiri. I don't want the third fight with Yuri, but it'd be okay. I'd enjoy it. I'd watch it, but like not right now. Carlos Ulberg. That's see, Khalil Roundtree rematch. Maybe if Khalil gets some other fights going. Guess it gets a bit of a comeback going. Khalil Roundtree, Jan Blachowicz. Jan can't win a fight right now. He's a good fighter. He's a great fighter. He gave Alex a very close fight that could have went either way. Like that fight was I felt like Alex is a bit lucky. Alex is a bit lucky to get that fight, to win that fight. I think he's a bit of. Did you guys think that like he's a bit lucky? I feel like that. I feel like he shouldn't. I feel like Jan could have won that, but if I was a judge, I would have went for Alex too. You know, even if I thought Jan won, I would have went. I'll give it to Alex. That was like the vibe I felt. Like, yeah, give it to Alex because I want to see what Alex does. The light heavyweight. Even if you're like a casual fan, you wanted to see Alex. You know Jan's going to be there, but you know Jan can't win a fight against the younger lad. Even though he's like neck and neck with him, he's so close. He can't win a fight right now. I don't know why. He's so good. He's a bit old. He's so good. I don't know. I can't tell you why. Maybe just because of a bit of age, but like he seems like a brick. Like he hasn't lost his chin. He's still fast. Maybe it's something like, I don't know. Maybe it's something he doesn't want to put the combos together. I don't know. But like, yeah, I'd like to see it if Jan could get a free fight, but it's not going to happen. He's not going to win against anyone young. At least, you know. Azmat Mizakhanov, yeah. Jamal, no. Volkan would be fun. Volkan would be fun if he gets his things back together. Even though Volkan isn't he isn't like extremely high level, but you know, that could be a fun fight. Even though he's like low ranked, it'd be like Cleo, where people will be like, "Oh, he's gonna get ran through," but then you see, you kind of like, "Oh, like light heavyweight, the levels aren't that far from each other." Dominic Reyes, no. Bogdan, yeah, you got so many good fights to play. Cam's out there. Why would you want to do that? Even Johnny Walker, like I prefer Johnny Walker to Cam's. Wasn't Khalil Roundtree? Khalil Roundtree was like in a Johnny Walker position. Okay, next. One last kind of fight. That's what we need right now. I need one last kind of fight. Even though he's old, he's on drugs, you know, he's on all that stuff. But like, we need one. I just feel like I need one more. Like, it's felt so long ago now that maybe some of you guys would even Oh my god, 20. A lot of you guys probably weren't fans back then, because this is going on almost 5 years ago now, and he hasn't fought in 5 years. And before that, 2020. Then before that, 2018. You know what I mean? So some of you guys are probably like in 2021 kind of in the spur. So like some people, there's so many fans that are like, I feel like he has to do it like one last time. You know what I mean? Because for you guys who hasn't like felt a Conor McGregor fight, it's something different. It's something. Even though now he's lost a lot of his he's lost a lot of his ability. I don't know if you can turn up sober. There's a lot of stuff he's lost. You know what I mean? But like, I feel like it'd still be big. His fight against Dustin Poirier, people are going to forget this. Against Dustin Poirier, the first time, he was slated to win it. Everyone thought, oh yeah, he's going to cut back. Maybe that's the argument against it. That's an argument against it because back then we thought he was going to be Dustin. We did. We went, okay, he knocked out Donald Cerrone, and we're kind of thinking like, oh, how would he do against who's the champion? I think Charles is the champion at the time, was he? Or Khabib? No, maybe I forget. He's one of them, Khabib or something like that. And we're like, oh, how would he do against these top guys? You know what I mean? Because he'd been out the sport for that long that the sport was moving on. No, Khabib wasn't champion. No, Khabib wasn't champion. Khabib wasn't champion. Champion 2021. Because who are we thinking about? Feels a bit weird if we were saying he could beat Khabib again, doesn't it? Yeah, okay, so the champion, there was no champion, was there? Yeah, I think there was no champion at the time. Yeah. So the title was vacant at the time, and Michael Chandler, someone nobody knew at the time, Michael Chandler. Yeah, Michael Chandler. Nobody knew who Michael Chandler was, and Charles is this guy like nobody was really believing in that much. We were kind of like going, oh yeah, this guy's only here because Khabib left it because he'd lost a lot. He's on an 8-fight win streak, but look before that, look at that. Paul Felder, Max Holloway, Anthony Pettis, Ricardo Lamas, Frank Yeager in 2013. Jesus, he's been at the UFC for a long time, but he's doing so all these guys, you know. So we're kind of like, yeah, maybe then we're kind of like, oh yeah, maybe kind of could beat him, you know. There's the title's up for grabs right now. But then he had like one of the best fights. That was like one of the best fights ever with him and Michael Chandler. Him and Michael Chandler had some. That was like so violent and so like technical. I can't. If you haven't seen it, then watch that because that was the second fight. It was crap. Let's be honest, yeah. But so we're kind of like in this division with Khabib gone. You know, Conor already beat Dustin Poirier very easy, and we're kind of like, oh, Justin Gaethje, he leaves his head out there, don't he, to get hit. So Conor could crack him. Why not? You know, that's what we're thinking. So maybe they felt different back then because in the second fight and in the first round as well, Conor was like putting work on him. Dustin wasn't really doing anything. So he went, okay, in the second fight, maybe Conor piss him out again, you know. But Dustin he broke his leg, didn't he? He broke his leg, but it felt like it was going to be a good fight. But a lot of people saw him break his leg and went, "How's that guy going to win?" You know, a guy just broke his leg. How are we going to go? Oh yeah, imagine it went on. But it looked like it was going to be a good fight. And in the fight as well, people were so confident about Dustin that people were going, "Oh, Connor's acting nice. Yeah, he's nice because he's going to knock him out. What's the point like doing mental games of a guy you're going to knock out?" So, but I still think it'd be big. You know, I'd like to feel it one more time. Maybe it doesn't feel the same because you know. Maybe it doesn't feel the same because we see him lose to Dustin, you know, Khabib, Nate in 2016. He's barely fit. He only gets news because he looks coked up. You know, maybe it's different, you know. But I think you know, he needs to get sober first. That's more important than what I'm saying. He needs to get sober. I'd love to see him just get sober again, then have a fight, or maybe not even. I prefer sober over fighting. I think getting sober, you know. I think like I'm not gonna say, oh, he needs to fight, like. And I think fighting as well keeps him not doing drugs. I think fighting keeps him not doing drugs, not drinking. I think it's actually healthier for him to fight rather than you know, abuse his body with all that stuff. You know. The last win is Adesanya versus Kyle Baharo. Versus Kyle Baharo. I can't even see the name right now. You know, Kai. You know, good old Kai. I think that's going to be a bit of a pass and a touch a little bit, you know, because Kyle, I can't even say his name. I'm just gonna call him Kai, whatever. Oh god, that's what I'm gonna call him anyway. But you know, I feel like it's a bit of a pass the touch moment a little bit, because you know, Kyle, he's got almost like a karate kind of style with like a Philly shell. Like he's a bit of he's a slickster, isn't he? He's a bit of a slick striker, isn't he? He's a bit like Izzy. He's a bit like Izzy and that. They're both very slick. You know, they both focus so much on technique. They don't try and knock the other guy out. They want to just break him down. You know, break him down with the hands. That's why it makes a lot of sense for Izzy to fight this guy. Because if he loses, he's like passing a touchdown to another like stick guy. There's no one who's going to fight like Israel like a Anderson Silva like for Izzy. Like nobody wants Israel Adesanya style. Nobody wants Anderson Silva style anymore. You know, because the sport's moved on. I love to see. Oh my god, there's like a second Izzy coming up. You know, I love to see that. Like, oh, this like it's gonna be like Anderson Silva versus him. But nobody wants their styles anymore. People want to be Alex Pereira. People want a Philly shell. You know, people want to be. No, nobody wants to copy Izzy. I don't know why, but you know, I don't see it coming. Izzy's got a very weird style too. He's like He's like Anderson Silva mixed with who do you say? It's his own style, isn't it? He's got Anderson Silva, a bit of Anderson Silva, a bit of kickboxing. He loves his kicks, and he's not very exciting, is he? Later in his career, he's not very exciting. Anderson Silva was like, in the Matrix knocking people out, so I don't think people will get inspired by Israel Adesanya enough. I think they get inspired by Alex. I think we're going to see in the next 10 years a guy who looks exactly like Alex doing Alex's moveset. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's what I say. I want one more easy fight. At least one more. I want to see, because, Kyle as well. Kyle, I feel like he won't knock Izzy out either. I feel like it'll be as close, like, it'll be a close, like, technique thing. I don't want to see Izzy get knocked out. I feel like his chin's gone. I feel like he's old. I feel like his defense ain't there anymore. I think Alex cracked his chin. I think Alex cracked it. I think his chin's not been the same since then. I think first fight, after that, he cracked his chin. And then the second fight, he was wobbling around the whole goddamn ring. And he's not looked the same. Because after that, he got dropped by Sean Strickland. Who gets dropped by Sean Strickland? Only Brendan Allen. Only Brendan Allen gets dropped by Sean Strickland. I think his chin's gone. I think he might get knocked out by Kyle. But let's hoping he's not. I hope he's not. I hope it's a good fight. But that's what I want to see. That's my wish list. Honestly, if 2026 had just like a couple of them, just a couple of them, I feel like it'd be one of the best years. I feel like it's a new freedom coming in. You know what I mean? Paramount's in. That's the one bad thing about Paramount though, is that UFC they won't be incentivized to like sell loads of pay-per-views. Paramount doesn't care. They put movies and stuff. They're just like, I'll give them money. Yeah, that's the one thing that. But maybe Paramount tells them, look, you got to put numbers there. They're giving you 7.7 billion. You got to put numbers. Then maybe you get some of this. But that's my wish list. Kind of blabbed on, but that's my wish list right now. Anyway, leave a comment. What would you like to see? What would you like to see? That's a good thing. What would you like to see? Or do you like any of the ideas? I'd like to read the comments, man. Anyway, have a good day. I'm off.